Hi! For my project, I chose to make a choice board. My choice board is for beginner to intermediate level ESL students, and it's based on the book Mr. Putter and Tabby Ring the Bell by Cynthia Rylant. I chose that book because it is about an older man and his cat and his friend who is an older woman and her dog. It's very funny, so it's good for children, but I think it could also be used for an older group because the characters are older. You can find this book read aloud on YouTube very easily if you'd like to see it. I decided to make a game of Battleship. And the idea is that after reading the book together as a group, as a whole class, the students can choose a scene or a narrative from the book to illustrate. And I've color-coded it. Green is easy, or for beginners. Orange is medium difficulty level, and red is hard, either because the language is difficult or because the illustration would be difficult to draw. So a student would take, coming up to the board, might take an easy one, let's try this one, or a medium hard one, and on the paper they can draw a small drawing of what they understand this sentence to mean. He stole the banana cake, and they could draw it here or they could draw it on the back. Then they come back to the board and turn it over to see if they found a battleship. Now the board has one destroyer, which is 2 X's, and one submarine, which is 3 X's, and one battleship, which is 4 X's. And the idea is that after all the ships are found, then a fun activity can be done or a reward can be given to the class. So that's my idea for a battleship game. You can build on this board by using the sentences from the book and then later having the students place them in order on a timeline or use them to summarize the book. For example, I could start, as a teacher, I could start with, "It was fall." And then ask a student to choose a sentence and decide if it was before it was fall or after it was fall, or the place in the book where it talks about how it was fall, which happens to have been at the very beginning. You can also use the drawings to dramatize the book, because all of the words on the papers are mostly direct quotes from the story. This choice board can also be used for such activities as such team competitions as bingo. So the first to get 5 in a row, or 4 in a row if you want to make it a little easier for yourself. You can take these off and make it a little bit of a shorter game, because 25 activities is quite a lot of activities to come up with. So if you have a 4x4 board, you can do things like put up other kinds of assessments. I have made here 16 other assessments which I've posted online that you can pin or tape up to these boards. And again, I've color-coded it, so this assessment is easy. This has the student make a matching game. They choose 3 difficult words for them from the book. They write the one word in the first square, and then they illustrate that word in the second square, and then they cut it out to make a matching game. So these can be pinned or taped up to the board. I've also made a create your own assessment that you can put up. And again, all the assessments, all the 16 assessments that I made, I based on Bloom's taxonomy. So they include things like justify, evaluate, summarize, create, and so forth. What I learned from this board was that a choice board like this is a lot easier to make with cardstock. I had this cork already available and I thought, oh, that's fun, it's pretty sturdy, but it's heavy, and so to magnetize it is a little difficult. The magnets don't stick quite as well, so if I did it again, I would make it with cardstock. Also, you don't have to magnetize it, you could just tape it up on the wall or pin it to a bulletin board, and that would work just as well. Also, for the drawing activity, don't use Sharpie because what it means is the Sharpie bleeds over to the back side, and that leaves less room to draw. Additionally, the cork, I thought cork would be fun because you could put push pins in it, but the cork is actually a little bit too narrow for push pins. It would only really work if you didn't mind destroying the object behind the cork. So that is what I learned from making this. I also decided to have a bit more fun. I made I made a tic-tac-toe game from cardstock. You can put these in a pile, and it can be a paired activity. The student chooses, one of the students chooses an activity that has to do with maybe a book they read together as a partner. They first do the activity such as illustrate a scene, and then they can use the chip in a tic-tac-toe game. So first one partner illustrates a scene, puts down an O. The next person might choose a character and make a mind map of what they know about the character and put down an X. So that was another fun game that I thought of as I did this project. And that's all for me. Thanks so much for watching.